Today's episode of the Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the shop, click, drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And welcome to episode 191 of the Mom Game. I'm Emily Jones. She's Julie Dobbs. We're still not together because we are effing
champions. What?
I'm already gonna cry. It's probably lack of sleep, the whole last 24 hours. But first, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
I love it, Emily. I cannot even believe that we were saying those words.
Julie,
just a second ago.
I still can't believe it. I don't even know where to start. You're probably going to have to guide me because my mind is running in a million different directions. I cried on a toilet by myself in Chase Field last night. It's all happening so fast.
I know.
But it's amazing.
Okay, so the Rangers getting it done in 5 games, winning game 5 yesterday on the road in Arizona. It was their 11th straight road victory in the postseason, which is a new record.
So let me put this in perspective for you. The last game we lost on the road was that shitter in Seattle when we lost the division. The last time this team lost on the road. It's un-effing believable.
Won every single road game since that moment. And then they got it done last night on the road. So you have to tell us everything from your perspective. So where were you watching when it happened? And then take us through what happened after the Rangers won their first World Series ever.
So let's start first of all, when I woke up the morning of game 5, I felt like ass. Like I don't get sick very often. I'm not a baby. But I literally was like, holy balls, I feel terrible. So 6:30 in the morning, I'm texting Jamie Reed, who is like our medical, he's kind of an advisor now, but whatever. So I was like, JMO, I hate to bother you, but I'm dying. So he's like, just get to the field and Dr. Hunter will see you. And so, I slept some more, which, me, I usually work out in the morning. I laid in bed till like 10:30. In the meantime, I'm thinking to myself, okay, the team and the families aren't coming back until the day after, which is Thursday. Bus leaves at like 11. I'm doing the math and I'm like, I'm not going to get home until, freaking 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'm dying to get home. And then by that time I didn't feel very good. And so Dave Raymond, my broadcast partner, had come in on an employee plane that they flew in. The Rangers flew in a bunch of employees on for game 4 and game 5. So I knew that plane was going back not right after, but a couple of hours after the game, game 5 on Wednesday. So I was like, I really want to get on that plane. So I figured out a way for me to get on that plane so I could get home.
Nice.
So I get ready to, so I know I'm going home after game 5, which made me feel better. I get to the ballpark. Dr. Hunter sees me. I get a steroid shot, a Z-Pack. He's like, it's going to take about 8 to 12 hours for that steroid shot to kick in. It's basically was just like head cold congestion. I still have a little bit of a cough, but he said, you'll notice a difference and I'm going to put you on a Z-Pack. And so I popped the Z-Pack, got the steroid shot. And I honestly, like it almost like clockwork at like 11 something, I started to feel better. And then I'm sure adrenaline kicked in, all that kind of stuff.
Like 11
But
o'clock
anyway,
at night.
yes. Yeah.
That is perfect timing.
Yes. And so, so, game 5 starts happening. Dave and I kind of had a little place where we sit in the press dining area, just kind of watch the game together, shoot the shit, talk to each other, whatever. So we sit there and watch, the whole, the first, we have our kind of predictions, and, he's like, Gallen's got to be spent. He's a rookie. This is the most innings he's ever pitched. I think we're going to light him up. And then we get through 5 and he's freaking like perfect. Like, it's like, we can't get a hit. We can't get a base runner. And I'm like, oh Jesus, here we go. And then, the dam opens and Corey gets a hit, and then the hits just start coming. And then, you get that one run, and then it's like, I'm like, I don't think one's going to be enough. Nathan Eovaldi. Yeah. And Nathan Eovaldi is like, he's in so many jams. Like, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Why, this is so stressful. Like, and it was just great. He just kept getting in jams and just kept getting out of them. The defense was incredible. He and Jonah were, totally in sync. And so, he makes it through 6 scoreless, which how on earth he pulled that shit out of his bag.
How many base runners at those 6 scoreless?
84. I think there were 84 base runners. And so then once Corey hit that, then it starts to go. And then I remember Jared, I usually go down to the tunnel because that's where we wait to go out on the field for post-game interviews if we win. And so Jared and I usually go down in the 8th. And so he said, he came out and was like, when do you want to go down? And I was like, I want to wait and watch one more inning. I can't even remember what it was, or one more half inning. And so kind of things started to happen. Then I get down to the tunnel, and there's this guy named Chuck Torres with Major League Baseball who kind of organizes everyone. And Chuck was like, here you go, you need to go watch your team. He was really great with me and my photographer, Ashley, and Jared. And so we got to kind of see, we had to kind of, duck down and look under seats to see everything. But that's when the floodgates started to open. And then, you look up and we're up 5-0. And it's like, holy S-balls, we are about to win the World Series.
Did time stop? Like,
it really did.
Time stopped. Like,
yeah. And how am I supposed to act? What am I supposed to do? Like, what kind of questions am I going to ask? Like, it's just such a crazy feeling. And it's just such mass chaos. Like, it's a total free for all out there, to where it's basically like, who did I get first? I got Evo first. And then I was waiting on Marcus to get done with Fox. And then I got Marcus, and Marcus at that time, like, he was a little emotional. And as soon as I saw him being a little emotional, then my eyes, just welled up with tears, and I kept it together for the most part. I think he did me a solid and kind of talked a little bit longer to let me kind of get through my business.
A true pro.
Yeah. And so it just was, we did interviews on the field, and then we go, they do the presentation on the field with the stage and the presentation of the MVP trophy. And, I'm hugging everyone I see that I've known for how many ever years, and, the players' wives, and, just so happy for them and their families and all that kind of stuff. And so we did that. And then it's like, okay, now it's go into the clubhouse time. And so we go into the clubhouse, and we get early access to the clubhouse. So we get to see Boch's speech, kind of the toast to the team before everybody just goes nuts with the champagne and beer and all that kind of stuff. And so that was really special to be in there.
So you got to be in there for that?
Yeah, which is really, really cool. I posted, and maybe in my stories, I'll have to send all the pictures, and maybe Ashley
your
can slice
selfie?
them or whatever. Yeah, the selfie was like right before
I loved that.
all the shit exploded. And then I snuck into Boch's office before all that happened and actually, this is a fun story. So Aroldis Chapman is like somehow got stuck carrying the commissioner's trophy. So he's just carrying it, and no one's taking it from him. So we're waiting to start like this celebration, and he's just holding on to this trophy, and he kind of looks at me, and I'm like, Chappie, do you want me to do something with that? And he's like, yeah. And so he hands me the trophy, and I take it into Boch's office, and it sat there. And then there's some guys from the front office, and they're like, get a pic. So I took a picture of a bunch of guys. I'm like, all right, my turn.
I was wondering whose office
yeah,
that was.
My turn. Yeah. So I was like, my turn. So I got to pick with the commissioner's trophy. And then, once the champagne popped, it was just a complete and total, S show, but it was so much fun. And, I've stayed relatively, I haven't gotten like demolished, up to this point. I got demolished in the clubhouse. Everybody let loose. It was just so much fun. I mean, I looked like complete ass. Could care less.
Who cares?
I mean, mascara
The
running down
best
my
kind of
face.
ass to look like when
Yeah,
you're
I didn't
celebrating a
even care.
World Series
Yeah,
victory. So
yeah.
everyone was
So
pouring
super
stuff all
fun.
over you.
Everybody was pouring stuff on everyone, and when I became a target was when you're interviewing someone, because then whoever is being interviewed, they get them, and then why not throw Emily in at the same time? So um, it was a lot of fun. I can't believe it happened. I really can't. It's just crazy to think about, like how many years I've been doing it and how many times I thought about leaving. And I mean, I don't want to get super emotional, but like I just think about how much of a part of my life this has been, and my family's life. And just to see it, I'm so happy for those dudes and their families. I'm so happy for our fans, for our organization, for everyone who's a part of it. I mean, just so happy for them to reach this pinnacle. And I texted some of the wives just a minute ago before we started shooting this, and I received a message from a guy I know who's a big Ranger fan, and he's telling me the story about his brother who was diagnosed with cancer. And this is like, they got diagnosed a couple years ago, had like 6 months to live, and he's still going. And this is what, like, their bond, and this is what they talk about. And so I sent it to the girls, and I was like, I just want y'all to know, like, I hope you'll share this with the boys, and know just how important this is, to people, and how much joy this has brought, so many people that are fans of this team. And it's just such a cool thing. And I'm probably sleep deprived and all that, because I still have not slept, um but yeah, it's just really cool. And getting to go on this ride, starting September 24th, when we left for Anaheim, and then went to Seattle, and then went to Tampa, and then Baltimore, and then home, and then Houston. I mean, all these things. And then getting to kind of, see these guys with their families, and their parents are there, and their kids and their wives. And it's just been so special. And I felt close to this team, and to their families, in a sense, before, but nothing like I feel now. I mean, I love seeing these families. I love, I know how much they all sacrifice, and have sacrificed for those guys to do what they did. And I just wanted them to know how much how it goes just beyond, them as a team. It goes so far beyond that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have questions. One, what was it like? I mean, I'm sure you FaceTimed Henry and Hattie and Mike. Like, what was it like talking with them and celebrating with them? Because their love for this team, like you said, like, it's just been such a big part of their life, a
Yeah.
huge part of your life. It's part of your identity. It's part of your family's identity, and they have a front row seat to a freaking MLB team every day, day in, day out. It's just such a unique situation for your whole family. I'm just like, I mean, I was crying last night for you. I'm like, now I'm sort of asked you a question, but I'm going to keep talking for a second.
Please.
Because it's just, Emily, like, the most, like, it's such a unique situation with you in this team. You've been there longer than the players. Like, you've been there longer than the GM. You've been there longer than almost everybody. Fans know you more than they know this dang team. Like, you are the Texas Rangers. You are.
No.
And so you are. And like, to see this happen, and like Eric Nadel right there too, but you're the mouthpiece to this team, and people getting to know them, and getting to go on the Rangers journey and have their heart broken by this team, and 2011, and the highs and the lows and everything. Emily, like, you've been right there with it. Like, even my little mini, like, reporter experience, like, you were there, like, you were my, like, guiding light, and just somebody that I looked up to. And just the way that the players look at you and respect you and give you their real genuine, like from the heart answers, no matter what question you're asking, no matter how tired they are, no matter what number game in the season it is, like they see you and they bow up and they talk to you from the heart. That's something you don't find. Like, you just don't find that very often with teams and in sports and with these professional athletes. And it's just magic. And you're just solid gold with this team in your whole life. And I was crying. I'm happy for you. Like, literally sacrificing your fucking body, like over the last month, and not seeing your family and going a little bit insane and pairing that all up with fucking menopause or whatever. Like, it's just amazing. And I'm just so happy. Like, I'm so happy for the team. I am. But like, we don't know them like we know you. And I think fans probably feel that same way, you know, like we know them. These guys seem wonderful. They're great. Like, some of them are new, and like, thank God they're here, because this wouldn't have happened if it weren't for Seager and Simeon and some of the guys that, you know, the ownership finally like freaking brought over and paid for, and that's what it takes to win a championship. But I think when people think about you and what this means to you and what you mean to this team, like, that's just what it's all about, you know?
Julie,
That
that's so sweet.
I know. Well, I mean it. Like, it's just so awesome. And if you never got to experience this, like, it would be fine. You know, it would be great. You have so many wonderful memories, and that's what you talked about with Kelly. Like, so many people you meet along the way and so many memories and such a huge part of your life, but like, there's just something missing when you don't get to experience this. And I absolutely love that you were that you were just there. You're one of them. Like, you're in every single dang locker room celebration. You're traveling. It's hard. It takes it out of you, but like, thank God you were a part of this whole entire ride in the postseason, especially. And I just love the whole thing for you. I love how much respect all these guys have for you. I love that you're such a crucial part of the organization. And I know they even lean on you for, you know, like, you are like, it's good to have somebody like you around for the guys. You're a constant like sense of comfort, I know, for a lot of them, because it is hard traveling and it is hard leaving your family. And you're just such a huge part of this thing. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for this team. I'm so happy for the fans. Like you said, you know, it's just insane. Like, I can't believe it's real. I can't believe it's real. But back to my question before I just word vomited forever. How was it,
Julie,
sharing
that was
this
the
with
sweetest word vomit ever. Seriously,
It's so
thank you,
true.
sweetie.
It's so true.
I know, it's so sweet of you to say that.
It's so true.
Hard.
You're the
It's
heart and
weird
soul
for
of
me
this
to hear
thing.
it. Well, you're sweet. It's weird for me to hear it, and it makes me uncomfortable. But thank you.
Well, you need to know it.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so
How
back
was
to
it
the
sharing it with your family?
Yeah, so I tried. Listen, Mike, my husband likes to go to bed early, so it's like as soon as the World Series was over, like we won, he's out. So I tried to FaceTime him. Then we got busy, but I'm getting texts from Henry and Hattie, and so, well, no, Mike before he went to bed sent me a text, and he said, you know, congratulations, honey, enjoy it, you deserve it, which is sweet. Now I'm gonna cry about everything. Anyway, and then I get a text from Henry that's like, Mommy, we did it. He said, I've been waiting my whole life for this. And I was like, you're only 12, kid. You're only 12. But he was so excited. And then Hattie sends me
his
this
whole life. Yeah.
It is his whole life. And then Hattie sends me a video. She put her phone up on her dresser and then like pointed it where you could see the TV. And then she's like darting back and forth, and she's doing kind of like, not really a play-by-play, but she's like, okay, 2 outs. And she's like, okay, strike one strike. And then she was like, two strikes. And then she's got this water bottle in her hand. So then the third strike happens, the game's over, and she starts jumping up and down and dumps a bottle of water over her head in her room. And then at the end says, like, don't worry, Mom, I'll clean it up before you get home.
That's amazing. Oh, Hattie. So the three of them were all watching together, and then Hattie and Henry stayed up and partied.
Exactly. And so then that's a part of the reason too why I wanted to get on that plane to come home. I wanted to be here today. I wanted to be able to take them to school. I wanted to be able to hug them and you know, and talk about going to the World Series. And so I woke Hattie up this morning and I was like, hey, morning, honey. I was like, we're going to the World Series. And she was like, I know. And she was like, Mom, do you get a ring? I was like, I think so, sugar. I think I do. And she was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, yeah, anyway. And Henry was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe we're really going to the World Series. And I mean, that we won the World Series. And so, yeah, it was fun. And, you know, they get so excited, like they get to wear Rangers gear to school today. And they were, you know, so excited about that. And then we'll do the parade on Friday, and, you know, just try to soak it all in, and
Yeah.
really just enjoy it, because like we don't, like, you never know if it's going to happen again. I mean, odds are this isn't going to happen again in my career. Maybe it will, but I definitely want to, you know, take stock of this time. And I feel like I really did that, you know, when I was working during that playoff run. And now that we can kind of soak it all in, I want them to be able to enjoy that too, at the, you know, the parade and all that kind of stuff, really get to be a part of that.
What all is the plan, I guess, for the parade? Have you heard? Like, can you
So I
believe
don't
there's
even
a
know
parade
yet.
for us? For you?
No, I can't. And it's
Crazy.
like I did, you know, I did the speakeasy right before game 5. And I couldn't even say the P word. Like I couldn't say it.
I
Like we
know.
started to kind of go down a road, and I was like, no, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. So I'm not really sure, other than kind of what's out there. I know that there is something for the broadcasters for us to be in it. I don't know the plan. I'm waiting to hear from John Blake as far as like the specifics, but um, you know,
Maybe
my
all
intent
around
is just
Arlington. Yeah.
yeah, all around Arlington. Yeah, and then really enjoy it, because so for me, like, you know, we celebrated on the field, but it's not like I went crazy and wild. And I mean, we got on a plane
You're
2 hours
also working. Yeah.
after the game, and yeah. And so, you know, but Dave and I sat beside each other on the plane, and we basically just I did have half a bottle of wine from my hotel room that I didn't finish. So as soon as we got on the plane, I split it between the two of us, and we cheersed and had a glass of wine on the way home. And then, but I didn't get home till it was 5:30 in the morning. And
Oh,
so
goodness.
Mike was like, get in bed and get some rest. And I'm like, no, I just want to power through all the shit I need to get through. And then I'm going to go to lunch with girlfriends. And then I'm going to take a nap until, you know, 4:20, when I have to pick up Hattie from school. So that's kind of my plan today. My chores are done. I have one load of laundry to fold, but I will say I came home and the kids, they had done laundry. And the
Oh,
dishwasher was
nice.
empty, trash was empty. Like they did some things for mom. But you know that I had to get all
I
my
can't believe
go
you
through
did
my
that without
checklist.
sleeping. Oh my gosh. I would have died.
Well, I just knew I knew I would sleep better when the time comes for me to sleep. I know I'm going to sleep better knowing that I've done all my chores, as they say. It was so funny
Yeah.
too. So the pool guy came today, so I was doing my outside, and the pool guy comes and gets finished, and he's like, everything looks good back there. And I said, okay, thank you so much. And he was like, and go Rangers. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, how are you so calm, and what are you doing sweeping right now? And I was like, I can't help it, I'm sorry.
I
I
just
was
have
like,
to.
yeah, this is just kind of, I mean, I'm still like, haven't showered. I'm wearing literally what I wore on the plane.
Do you smell like
um
booze?
not anymore. I had to take a shower, but the hair, it's going to take a few washings for the hair. But I'm now, you know, chores are done. I'm showered. I've got my happy juice, and
Amazing.
yeah, it's such a fun time.
And then
Yeah,
on
but I mean, I guess really the only time I really lost it was, you know, when I almost lost it with Marcus, and then like when I was going to change, and I just was by myself in this bathroom at Jace Field, and I just sat down and I just like sobbed, like
really
just let it all out. And so I go out, because Dave, we had to make the bus to get to the airport. So Dave's texting me and he's like, are you almost ready? So I come out, and he's like, is everything okay? And I was like, well, I mean, I just had a good cry session on the toilet. He's like, God bless, honey. God bless.
it's like you just have to feel like alone, like you're safe there in the toilet. No.
Mm. Yeah, there was no one coming into that bathroom. I'm just in the stall on the toilet, just bawling.
Oh my gosh.
Um, yeah, yeah, and think of my dad too. Like, God, my dad would have fucking killed to, you know, experience this, and he would have been so stoked. That would have been the first call I would have made after the game. So I'm sure he's smiling
He
down and,
is. Heck yeah, he is.
yeah, yeah. And you just think about all the things, like all the things that led you to this point. I mean, I didn't throw a pitch, I didn't catch a ball, I didn't hit a ball, I didn't do any of that. But when you're so invested in something, you start thinking about like just all the things along the way, all the people that have helped, take care of my kids, all the people that, I mean, we had a girlfriend, one of my girlfriends who's picked up, just picked up Henry for school every day this week. And, just little things like
Yeah.
all these people that just do things to make your life easier so you can so I can continue to do this job. And I think about like my husband, and I mean, for fuck's sake, Mike has put up with a lot. He's never known anything different. He married into this. And then we had kids and he didn't skip a beat, as far as, wanting me to keep doing what I'm doing for as long as I wanted to do it. And to see it come full circle to where it was such a stress for me early on as a mom. Now it's become such a treat for my kids. I mean, I've told you this a million times. We have a conversation every off season. How do we feel about mommy going back to work? There's a reason I signed 1-year contracts. It's because I want that flexibility to be able to walk away whenever it's time to walk away, for me and for my family. And it used to be when they were little, they wanted me home more. They would rather me not work, and they would rather me not work this job in particular, because they knew how much I was going to be gone and how many things I was going to miss. And now we've come completely full circle where they
Yeah.
love it. They love what I do. I think they see how much I love what I do and they appreciate it. They're old enough to appreciate it. And, it makes you take inventory of all of those things and how grateful, I am to this organization for affording me this opportunity and for being so incredibly flexible with me, to where they met me where I was and continue to do so. And that means so much to me. And it has enabled me to continue to do this as long as I've done it. I mean, 9 seasons covering the team as an employee of Fox Sports Southwest, and now 10 seasons covering this team as an employee of the Rangers. And so, I just can't help but feel an immense amount of gratitude, to the Rangers organization, to this team that made it happen, and to the army of people who have impacted my life and my family's life along this journey.
Yeah. Well, so many people too, like I think moms and sports fans, the people that watch our show, like it means a lot to all of them too, people that have been able to follow along with you and the way that you're so candid about it all, and talking through the day in and the day out of it all, and how you juggle it with the family and everything else. Like, for example, I got this text today. I told her I'd read it to you, but this is from the principal of Ryder Nana's school. So she's a big Rangers fan. The school is all decked out with Go Ranger stuff. It's so cute. She said, "I'm truly so happy for Emily Jones. I've been such a huge fan of her since she started with the Rangers, and she's one of few who was there for 2010 and 2011 and is still there now. Couldn't be happier for her. She is such a huge part of the Rangers to me." Like, you're just, like that just, it's just so cool. I think how many people like maybe don't relate as much to the team, or maybe they're not even like a huge baseball fan, but they can relate to you, because you have been there through so long, because you have been juggling it with your family, because you have been delivering like all of the interviews that help the average fan get to know the team and then maybe fall in love with the team. I just think it's so cool. So that's awesome for you. I know, and to be able to reflect and thank everybody, in your life who's helped, because it's so hard. It's so hard to do that juggle. But then also, even through what you're doing, like so many other people are falling in love with the team because of you, and just mad respect for doing it all with kids and everything else. Like, she's a principal of a school. She's got 2 kids. It's hard. Like,
Yeah.
but you can do it. Like, you can do it. And it makes it better when it's something that you love, and it's obvious how much you love it. But
Yeah. And I'll share
it's
this one story
just insane.
that basically made my, made my year life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Marcus Simeon's, father-in-law. So I'm leaving to go to the ballpark, one day, and he's out there with, Marcus's kids, Marcus and Tara's kids. So it's Tara's dad, and he, so I saw him and passed him. I recognized him from from his introductory press conference. And then I recognized the boys playing there at the hotel. And he said, I enjoy your work so much. He said, I love what you do. I watch all the games, and, you know, just was so complimentary. And he looked at me and he said, you are just as big of a part of this as anybody. And he said, and for I mean, it's like, it's one thing if, I mean, not for it to come from,
yes,
you know, Marcus Simeon's father-in-law. It's like, wow, that's
like to pick up
man,
on
made
that
me feel
in
good.
a year, 2 years, whatever it's
and so
been.
And I messaged Tara right away, and I told Marcus at the ballpark, I said, because I didn't know if it was his dad or Tara's dad. And I said, you're, you know, either your dad or your father-in-law just about made me, you know, bawl today. And he was like, what? So I told him the story, and he was like, yeah, he's a good man. And, you know, and he's right. And then I messaged Tara, Marcus's wife. And I said, when I found out it was her dad, and I said, I just want you to know, like, that your dad just literally, you know, made my, like, just like validated me in a way that it was just so incredible. And she was like, you know, and she is like, gosh, she's so sweet. And she's like, he's absolutely right. And, you know, I love my daddy. And then I was like, you know, cherish these times. I was like, you know, I lost my dad 7 years ago, and cherish these moments. And she's like, you know, I absolutely will. And, you know, that precious family. And, you know, just so blessed to have gotten to know people like them, and families that we have. And yeah, I mean, man, just so fun, and such a special time.
Something so cool to see. Like kind of what these guys were sold, especially like Simeon and Seager and like Scherzer, what they were sold on this team and the vision and why they might want to come here when we were not having good seasons at all, and they had been in places, you know, where they were like LA, I guess, in Seager's case. And there's something so cool about it all coming together and actually happening. Like, it wasn't just some BS that they were sold and they didn't know it was going to happen, and there's no guarantee, right? But just the fact that it did, and like this team where those guys are now, like this is the team that other people are trying to be. I
think it speaks to, I mean, more than anybody, I mean, Corey Seager, like you talk, I mean, yeah, did he get paid a boatload of money? 100%. But he was going to get a boatload of money from a number of teams. But the fact that he wanted this, he wanted to turn it into a championship team. And you know, it's almost like that, you know, they're all competitive, right? They're all professional athletes, but like that's some next level shit right there. Like, you know, I don't want to just win. I want to transform an organization and bring it its first ever title, even though, you know, it lost the season before he signed, we had lost 102 games.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not talking about like a 500 team. I mean, you're talking about like a team that was really, really bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, mad respect for him, for, I mean, for all these guys. And yes, I know they make a lot of money and all that kind of stuff, but you see the way this team played throughout this run, and you see how much they were playing for each other, and that there was so much selflessness, and there was never any, well, why am I batting 7th instead of, you know, 9th, or 7th instead of 3rd, or what? There was never any question about that. And so it's a special group. And I think it would have been special. You know, I could have said it was a special group at, you know, in game 162, but I think it just took things up a notch to go through this run together. And then now, of course, I hate to even say this out loud, but like, then I start thinking about like, dang it, well, who's going to be gone? Like, I want all of them back. I want this exact team just the way it is. I want all of them back.
I know.
You know, let's just run it all back.
Right.
Same exact people.
Nobody go anywhere.
Everybody just chill out and stay right where you are.
Right.
I know that's not the case.
Who is it? It's like anyway. Garver, maybe, or
Garver. Somebody, I can't. I'd have to look.
Not a ton of people, though, right? Yeah.
Not a ton. There's not a ton.
Yeah.
but yeah, and listen, this will always be the first. This will always be the first group to have done it. They will always have a special place in every Rangers fan's heart, you know, and mine as well. And it did one thing that was kind of sad, and Ian Kinsler was on our plane home too.
Yeah.
And you know, Ian won a championship with the Red Sox, and so he kind of had that atonement, him and Mitch Moreland. So you've seen guys kind of leave, you know, Knapp won his, you know, Mitch and Kins won theirs. Like, you know, you see guys that go and eventually get to experience that winning a World Series. But on the field after Game 5 was Michael Young and Adrian Beltre. And you're just like, damn, you know, they were so close. And it's got to just be like, I mean, obviously they're in our front office. They are a part of this organization, and they are thrilled for these guys. But there had to be part of them that were just like, fuck, why?
I know. And the way the players' careers go, like, it's not like they can hang around and play forever after losing that chance.
Right.
But you can. That's the beauty of a broadcaster.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, you've been there. There's
I'll just keep just keep getting Botox and that, right, you know, covering up the grays.
Like the players filter in and out, but Emily Jones stays there.
Oh, at some point I'm gonna have to hang it up. But anyway, it's been so much fun. And you know what, and we've talked about this. I had completely, you know, come to terms with the fact that, you know, when people always ask like, what's left to do in your career? Like what's your next step, or what have you you know, not done that you want to do, or whatever. And it was always like, I mean, winning a World Series would be pretty effing cool. But it's like I told you with Kelly when he left the Stars, like, but it's not, it was never about that. It never became that. It was never like, I'm going to stick around until we win a ring or until I die. It was always just like that I had gotten that fulfillment in tenfold with the relationships and the friendships that I've made and over the last 19 years. And those are, you know, and like getting messages. Jenny Lewis, Colby's wife, texted me last night. You know, Delino DeShields, like just people that have become my friends that were reaching out to congratulate me because I was here when they were here. Shit like that is like, damn, I'm lucky, you know. And those are the things that just are like, I mean, I could, you know, I could hang it up tomorrow and have, you know, and it would be, I've said that before, like no regrets and nothing that I feel like I need to accomplish. I mean, these friendships and these relationships, those are that's my reward. And that's what I told you about Kelly. That's my payoff. That's my ring.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I'll take the other one. But yeah, that's
what it's all about. Yeah. And then this is like icing on the cake. Okay, so you get a ring.
It's like the cherry on top of the whipped cream, on top of the icing, on top of the cake.
It's amazing.
Like, this is it. I had already had all the other stuff, or maybe this is even like the sprinkles or the drizzle of chocolate syrup or something. I was so fulfilled and satisfied, and didn't feel like there was anything missing for me professionally. And so this is just like, holy shit, how did I get so lucky?
It's amazing. The pinnacle of sports.
It's amazing.
You got to be there. Okay, so you get a ring. Are we gonna wear it?
I guess. I mean, I get a ring, don't I?
I'm sure you do. Because you're an employee of the team now. Like, had you been at Bally,
right?
Maybe not, right?
Because I didn't get an American. Yeah, when I worked for when I worked for Fox Sports Southwest, I didn't get a ring when we won, because they get and I don't know if they do this in hockey. Excuse me, champagne.
I feel like I need to go live.
No, it's okay. So baseball, though, if you win the American League Championship or if you win the National League Championship, you still get a championship ring. So in 2010 and 11, we got rings. I didn't get one because I was not an employee of the team. I was an employee of Fox Sports Southwest. Right. So I don't have any rings. I'm assuming that because I am an employee of the team, that now I will get a
Of
ring.
course, yeah.
And if I don't, this is going to be really awkward. This is going to be really awkward if I like put it out there, told my kid I was getting a ring, and it's going to be really awkward if I don't.
I'm sure you will. Henry's gonna have the best show and tell of all time.
Yeah, let's not put this clip on social media, Ashley, just in case something happens and I don't get one. But yeah, so now let's
run out right before they get to you. Yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
We're sorry.
I'll just go like buy one for like a ridiculous amount of money and be like, oh yeah, look at my ring.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's gonna be amazing. Anyway,
yeah, so I'm gonna parade it up, and I'm gonna sleep at some point today. Take a good little nap, and then
the wild ride is over. So, it finished in the best way possible. It went longer than anyone could have imagined, and took it out of you.
Yeah.
But the ride that you've been on is over, and the Rangers are World Series champions. Now it's all about celebrating, getting back to your routine, getting to spend time with family, and taking a deep breath. And it's just amazing.
Getting my chores done.
Before you do anything else, make sure you get your chores done.
Get the chores done.
Well, I'm so happy for you. Thanks for, including Mom Game along for the ride, including all of our listeners, adding that one thing to your plate, because I know your plate is already overflowing even before I came and asked you to do this silly show. But I'm so glad that we're doing it. I'm so glad that people have gotten to know you even more, and that people are tuning in weekly to hear your thoughts on this thing. And now I think everyone is celebrating with you. It feels like a victory. It feels like a World Series champion for all of us, or championship for all of us, and everybody who's been seeing it through the Emily Jones lens. I know is just like,
well, best decision ever to do this with you. Best decision ever. And shout out to Ashley and Adam and you and whoever's been doing the social stuff, because y'all do shit that I never would do, because I'm terrible at social media. So like seeing the, the old pictures of me and y'all being sweet to me, and people probably think it's me posting about me, like, oh, look at Emily.
No, I think it's obvious.
I think anybody who knows me knows I hardly post, and when I do, it's not very organized or good. So anyway, thanks to y'all, for celebrating me on this little journey. And
of course,
we're
Ashley
gonna keep rocking
all over that. Yeah, they've done a wonderful
job. Shout out to them. And we're gonna keep doing the Mom Game, and we're gonna be back together next week. We should be back together next week, and then we're gonna have some fun as we close out 2023. Shit's about to get crazy because Halloween's over, and Lord knows it's gonna be Thanksgiving and Christmas, and
I know
we gotta get everybody ready for all that stuff. So it's gonna be fun. Should have some fun guests coming up in the next few weeks. We haven't scheduled any because of my crazy life. But yeah, we'll get back in our little Mom Game routine. But I was tired today, and I had shit to do, but I was like, I want to do a show. I want to do a show, and I want to do it today, because we were going to record yesterday, and I was like, let's not do it before Game 5. Let's wait till after Game 5. And sure as shit, here we are. Texas
Rangers.
All
worked out perfectly. I know.
World Series champs.
World Series champs.
Okay, love.
It's real.
Okay, well, I'll if you want me to call in today, I can call in today to your
we would love that, but if you're napping, don't worry. What I might do,
I could call you like on my way to pick up Hattie, because then that way I'll set my alarm and then go pick up. I can talk to you guys on the way to pick up Hattie from running club.
So like 3:30,
around 4.
Okay, perfect. That'll be the best damn sports segment, period. It'll be perfect. I know. Can't wait. Okay.
Hug. All right.
Love you.
Okay.
We'll go celebrate sometime soon. Let me know if it's hard.
Yes. My life is much calmer now. All right. Love you.
Okay. Love you.
I'm getting out.
Series champs.